What's up, people? It is Thursday night, which means we're only a few days till game day. It is rivalry week, Titans week. We got a little bit of chit chat from one of our captains that says something to another captain of the other team. Might talk about that. Gonna give our score predictions. Gonna run down all of our DraftKings takes and bets and all that thing. So lots of stuff to talk about. Sammy, start me up.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to The Sick Podcast. And Bill Show.
Intercepted! Marlon Jackson! Marlon's got it! We're going to the Super Bowl! We're going to the Super Bowl! Marlon Jackson with the interception! He picked off Tom Brady!
The sickest Indianapolis Colts podcast. It's gonna be sick.
It's going to be sick. Before we get into the show, I guess we can go ahead and start with the DraftKings promo. Chris, do your thing.
Yes, sir. And so, first off, game is on. Well, we got a game on tonight, but you know what? That one doesn't matter. We just know week 3 starts now, and every touchdown brings you closer to a payout with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. This isn't just football, it's first touchdown fireworks, anytime TD rushes, and live bets that ride every momentum shift. At DraftKings, every play is your next shot at a win. New customers, this one is for you. I'm not there yet, but December 1st, DraftKings will be in the state of Missouri. So, yes. But in the meantime, for anybody where it is available, you bet just $5, $300 in bonus bets instantly. Plus, grab over $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Your season starts now. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code 6sports. That's SICKSPORTS. All caps, no spaces. That's code 6sports to get $300 in bonus bets instantly when you place your first bet of $5 or more, plus over $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 and over, age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio.
Okay, now,
Welcome to the Anvil.
nope.
Wait.
There you go. I think I like that though. Welcome to the Anvil. Then we hit that. That's pretty dope. Anyway,
No. Anvil only. What the hell? Like, don't do that again.
no, we're not gonna. You know what? All right, you
Hell
seem
no.
amped. I'm just clocking out over
I'm
here,
just
so
saying.
I'm not as gassed as you right now.
Clocking out.
But I do not have my Red Bull today. We got Cayman Jack. Hey man, I drink this a lot. Y'all should sponsor us too. What's good, fellas? I seen a bunch of people already coming in. Daniel Jones, North Carolina's finest. That's funny. That's one of my best friends. It's funny that he say that because we had a little back and forth about Anthony and Daniel over the offseason. He said Daniel was going to win hands down, so I kind of lost that. But he's a Panthers fan, and he said that the Panthers would, outplay the Colts this year. So money's coming my way.
Oh, that's wild.
Yeah,
That's
crazy.
wild.
Nonsense, right? Yeah, anyway. But anywho, lots to talk about tonight. As y'all can see, DEI is not here. He is sick or whatever. So
I
Right out
told
the
him
gate.
to take a Flintstones vitamin and power through
Yeah.
it, but apparently he didn't heed my
No.
warning. So
and that's
okay.
that's unfortunate because yeah. Anywho, we don't get to make fun of him tonight, but that's fine. So let's just jump right into it. I was hoping, and I'm gonna throw a little shout out here. Sammy and his family, they are Titans fans, and we also have some cool guys that are part of our network talking Titans. I've kicked it with Jared before, real cool dude. So I was hoping it would get together tonight and be able to chit chat a little bit, but those guys couldn't make that happen, and that's all good. Maybe they didn't want to make it happen because their team's 0-2, probably loading on 0-3. More than likely, we believe it's crazy. Keep pounding, probably not, because the Panthers are terrible. That's their thing. Keep pounding is their thing. Easy there, Chris. Easy there, Chris. Look at you. You're ready. You're ready to call me diabolical already.
Listen, I'm hoping that you're understanding this. Like I'm hoping that you're seeing it's just like, am I going to be able to say something like what you just said and be able to get away with it? And the answer is absolutely not.
Look, I see your face. No. You immediately thought I was going somewhere else. And no, that's literally their motto. They beat the drum, keep pounding. But anyway, that's neither here or there. They are terrible, and I'm waiting on my money. I forget how much we bet it. I think it was $50, maybe even $100. I don't know. But anyway, that'll come right around Christmas time. But sticking on task.
Yes.
It's rivalry week, and our captain, one of our captains, had something to say. He basically stated, hey, look, on the other side of the ball, it's the number one pick. You know, he's got talent. We know that. But he made a terrible throw. And I hope that he makes that throw again. Insinuating that we're going to pick that off and make you pay for that. And so a lot of people were oohing on over the play. But as Z was saying, and this is no bias, it was a pretty shitty throw. It's just that it worked out in his favor that time.
Yeah.
So that's not necessarily saying, hey, you guys suck and we're going to come down there to, you know, beat y'all again for the however many time in a row. But it's also stating like, yeah, let's chirp it a little bit because it is rivalry week, no matter what the records are. So with that stated, how you feeling?
You know what? There's no reason why we shouldn't beat them. However, this is also a division rival. So the thing is, I can't at least take them a little bit seriously.
So
I can't because like I said, how many terrible Jacksonville teams have we faced and they've utterly trounced us?
Listen, we have a lot of trauma from previous Colts squads. It's only 2 weeks in, and like I said on Tuesday, at some point this team's going to lose, and we just need to be ready for that. But I don't think it's this week. And I know people say this is the ultimate trap game. That too can be true, but I feel like it's too early for trap games. It's week 3. It's week 3. Like we're not in the playoff hunt yet. We're not ready to wrap the division up or something like that. And you know, we're overlooking a lesser opponent because we got a better one behind them or something like. No, it's none of that. This is week 3. Colts, Titans. We are the better squad in every literal position, to include coach and everything else you want to throw into the mix. Go down there and handle business. I'm like, I know how the spaces are. And again, like I said, they say hit dogs will holler. Yeah. Well, we've been hit a lot over the last 7-8 years. Like we just have not been able to find ourselves like the norm when the Colts were winners. And we're trying to record that. And we just gotta be, man, like it's the time. Yeah. Bro, and I'm not overlooking them. They are the team on their schedule, but come on.
Nah, it's but like I said, that's the reason why, and it's not necessarily trauma for anything. It's like, well, division games I just hold in a different regard. Now, mind you, I don't think that highly of Brian Callahan. I just don't think that he's a guy that we need to be, I'm going to say, worried about long term, because truth be told, you know, some of the habits that Cam Ward has, they're atrocious habits. Like, I mean, the guy, it's just like his drop back is about 10 to 12 steps.
Bruh, it's unreal.
And mind you, and like Zaire said, now mind you, even from our fan base, Zaire caught some heat because, you know, it's just like he's once again talking about somebody, you know, but the thing is, he didn't lie when he said it was a terrible throw, because if you look at it, it's like a 10-step drop back. He rolls out right, and then he throws cross body back to the left side of the field when he's damn near out of bounds. So, and for anybody else, if you're playing under any other circumstance, when you're playing a team, not only is that shit getting picked off, like that's probably going to the house, because now you have the whole left side of the field exposed, and now you're looking at a guy who, if the cornerback picks it off, he has nothing but a lane to run. He's by himself the whole entire time. So that's the reason why it's like it was a terrible pass. And I think, is Cam Ward at least athletically gifted? Can he pass? Sure. But in terms of mechanics, like he's AR on intermediate mode. Like
right.
that's all he is
No,
right now.
let's not
No,
do
we
this.
gotta point it out. We gotta point because the thing because
Keep our
let's
guy out
be
of this.
but,
Keep our
but let's
guy out of
be
this.
okay, cool. Let's be completely real though. This guy, we're talking about adjusted completion percentage and all this other things. We're not adjusting nothing.
I don't care
Because
about
the
none of
thing
that.
is, because what we're talking about is the fact that first week against Denver, you go 12 for 28 and you're throwing at 44% completion percentage when we've been hearing from other division rivals that people from our team throwing 47% was a bad thing. So if we're talking about that, then don't start getting crazy now. Don't start switching up now.
Bruh.
No, we got to talk about this. We
Oh,
got to make sure that we are being as honest as possible, and also we're like the league is moving to where now it's more of a moments type of league. It's not about like legitimacy or anything to that extent. So that's why when he threw that terrible pass that he threw, all of a sudden it's headlines everywhere. It was a shit throw.
all right, so here's my thing. Like, yes, sticking with the throw, I think it was a terrible throw. I think we all can agree with that. My boy just chimed in. Cam Moore's legit. I don't know. I don't like to. My thing is this. I mean, call it what it is. Like, there's some changes that are happening in the NFL, and ultimately, right now, like African American quarterbacks are half of the league, basically starting right now. And
Yeah.
so I don't like to, like, you know what I mean, kick them down or put them down like that. I want to see them do good because, like, it's
Oh
been a
yeah.
it's been a long time coming for something like this, right? Like, and we don't have to have a history lesson, but we know that. So with that stated, just looking at what's going on the field, he's young. He's on probably one of the worst teams in the league, if not the worst team. They're down there, and he's just trying to make it happen. And I was never sold on the kid anyway. Like, coming out, I didn't think that he was like top echelon talent, but sometimes you are at the mercy of the draft. And it's just like, hey, we need a quarterback. This is the guy that's out here. We're rolling with it. I don't know what the circumstances for Tennessee. Neither do I care. But with
Yeah.
that stated, you're right. Like, these are the same things that Anthony Richardson were getting laughed at. Now, this guy only got 2 games under his belt so far, and Anthony has, 15 or whatever the number is. But lots of similarities. And so to just that, our fan base should not have been on Z's neck about that because he was telling the truth. And, like, I need somebody to play with an edge. We talked about that. I know how he used to do on his podcast. This and that. We live very much in the now, but have a hard time forgetting, what was previously said. Maybe sometimes that's good. Maybe all the time it isn't. Because in this situation, I need somebody to motivate this squad a little bit so that we don't have a trap game. I need somebody to feel themselves a little bit so that we can continue this role that we own. He's a captain. Speak up. I'd rather him come out and talk about that. You know what I mean? But again, he didn't slander the kid. He just like, look, man, like, y'all asked me how good is Cam Ward. Yeah, all right. He's number 1 pick for a reason. But that was a terrible pass. And I hope that he throws that again because Cam Bynum's back there and we're going to run to the other end and celebrate. I mean, that's just the logistics of the whole thing. If he throws a pass like that and Cam is back there, our Cam, Cam to Cam, he's taking that to the house. And I think we all know that. So I'm gonna just let that be, man. But yeah, you know what? It is what it is, man. And that's what's supposed to happen. I mean, I grew up in an era where there was legit hate for rivals. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The Colts maybe didn't have that because our team didn't have a lot of flair. But everybody watched Broncos and Chiefs, Raiders, like all them games, Eagles, Cowboys, and Redskins, Giants back. And like, we watched all that, and that stuff used to be awesome to watch. And this league is far from that.
Oh yeah.
I think outside of the NFC East and probably the NFC North, nobody's really chirping it a
Well,
bit.
AFC North
Oh,
is yeah.
Okay, AFC North, AFC West. You can throw that in there because that's still Chiefs,
Yeah.
Raiders, or whatever. But
What?
yeah, you see what I'm saying? Like,
Well,
it's too. It ain't too many.
but the thing is also because of the fact that, and I might get some heat for this, but in this division that we have, I don't see any of them as our true rivals.
No.
Because the thing is when Jeffrey Simmons says, "Oh, they hate us and we hate them," I could give a shit less about the Titans. I could really give a shit less. Like, honestly, it's just like with the Jags, I could care less about them. Like, in any given season, no matter how good the Texans are, I'm more worried about the Jaguars than I ever am against the Texans, because no matter how good or bad they've been, we've been able to beat them.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, if I'm sitting there, like when I hear Jeffrey Simmons says, "Oh yeah, they hate us," like, don't nobody give a shit about y'all.
Yeah,
Like
I mean,
nobody,
it's 39-22 all time
yeah.
against the Titans, right? Like, and then they haven't beaten us since well, wow. Okay. They haven't beaten us since
It's been 1,061 days.
2022. Is that right? Not right.
Yeah, no, yep, it's been 1,061 days.
Yeah, so that's more than 3 years.
Yeah. Yeah, like shit, it's awful, but also
They're the closest, I believe. No,
yeah,
they're 39. We're 39-22. I think the Jags were 28-20, and then the Texans are like 33-13. Like they just
yeah. But the thing is, like for me, when I'm looking at anything, like I look at like Baltimore kind of in that manner because of the history of being in Baltimore and then leaving Baltimore. Like I get that, but then also I'm looking at the Patriots, because I'll hate the Patriots forever.
Oh, you got
Like
to.
it's forever after Patriots.
Yeah,
But when it comes
life.
down to like the Titans, like I don't care.
Nobody
Like
cares.
it's but ultimately, but the thing is that the trash talk is just like it gives it a little bit more right? But the thing is now, like it's to the point now where it's just like Titans fans will tell you that they're rebuilding. So it's just like if we beat them, what's the excuse? Oh well, we're rebuilding. Like we know that we're probably going to be competitive, even though y'all went after L'Jarius Sneed, and that was supposed to be a big needle mover for them, and that didn't end up helping. Like you were supposed to get these people. They went as far as to say to us that getting Tony Pollard was going to be the best running back in the division last year,
Bro,
when
come
you
on.
had Jonathan Taylor out there.
Come on.
That's Titans fans. That's
on.
Titans fans. That's Titans fans.
Let's not do stuff like that.
But that's,
like let's just try not to even. I don't even want you to say stuff like that because it's so foolish.
how do you think it feels to hear that stuff?
Well, I mean, I get it, but that comes from a small group of people who might not understand what they're even watching. Because Tony Pollard on his greatest attributes giving day could never be Jonathan Taylor if he had the flu. Like, and he was like, yeah, I'm only gonna run the ball 10 times a day. Like, I would still take JT in all fantasy leagues for knowing he's gonna run 10 times over Pollard. That's insane. Anyway, let's get into the game, because there's a game to play and we're just talking off emotion here. But let's break it down. All right, keys to victory. This is just gonna jump out early into the game. Keys to victory. Have you seen anything? Because I haven't watched the Titans game in its, like totality, because I just can't get through it. But have you seen anything that you think is a solid piece that we need to prepare for going into that game? Like, is there something we should have our eyes on?
I think it's just like when it comes to the Titans, it's trench integrity. Like it's going to be us making sure that on defense, it's consistently pressuring Cam Ward to make sure that you're trying to throw him off. Because one thing that I've seen last week and even the week before last was that I think somebody mentioned footwork in the comment section, and sometimes his footwork is absolutely there, but there's times where it seems like he's almost preparing to have to drop back even further. So you see that as soon as that ball touches his hands, his drop back isn't like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's him basically making sure that he takes those steps back and he gets those steps back as quick as possible, and then he's trying to set up for something that's further down the field. And so I think the biggest thing for making sure that you get to him as often as possible, you just make sure that it's just like you just stick with your stunts. Like you stick with those things and start working, because Dan Martin has been a liability. So for me, and Dan Martin was supposed to be the guy that they got from Pittsburgh, and that was supposed to be, the needle mover for their offensive line. And he was out there. He did a full 360 looking to figure out exactly what was going on. Meanwhile, Cam Ward is being chased down the way that the hyenas chased down to Timon and Pumbaa in The Lion King. Like it's the craziest stuff ever, but I don't understand it. Like
Yeah, see, there's a couple of things I want to talk. First, Zach. Zach said, "Look, don't play at a level. That's how you lose. Period. That's how you lose.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
play down at their level. So in a trap game, you want to call it that, just don't play down at their level. Like we have been super efficient on offense. We haven't punted yet. That doesn't mean we got to go for every fourth down. Like at some point, newsflash, we will punt. So if that's this game, oh well, punt the damn ball. But remain consistent on offense. Now to Marty's point, and that kind of goes into the knock on what Cam Ward is or what he could be versus how he played, or where he came from and how he was taught to play. We talk about this all the time. Like I said, it's one of my best friends. I cannot stand the air raid,
yeah,
and
yeah,
because it creates terrible habits. And I know that the NFL is going. The NFL is pass happy now too, right? But not as pass happy as college football. But that's what I said. A lot of these kids don't really learn how to play the position outside of the scheme that they're in. And so he has
yeah,
a lot of things that he needs to curtail. And I feel
yeah,
like those play into the hands of a defensive coordinator who's going to be super aggressive, because I see him being pushed one way or the other all game. He wants to drop back 6, 7, 8 yards, and then we're going to send somebody running at him. And now he's only working with a sliver of the field. You know what I mean? And you play him
yeah,
like that all game, he's not going to beat you with his legs. Like he's just not a true dual threat. He can get around enough to be halfway dangerous, but it's not Lamar Jackson. It's not, hell, even Daniel Jones, in my opinion. Like he's just not that quarterback. Just like, oh yeah,
yeah,
he went for 70 on the ground. Nah, that ain't gonna happen. So you just chase him all day, make him throw off, throw with terrible mechanics, throw off his back foot, making the type of throws that he threw on Sunday where it should have been picked, but it ended up being a touchdown. Like you put him in constant situations like that and live or die with somebody, as you said, completing what, 50% right now
yeah, yeah,
and
around there.
making errors. So yeah, like you just got to play into his weaknesses, and I feel like Lou will be ready for that. And he's a rookie quarterback. I mean, he's gonna throw the kitchen sink at him, especially if he's got a healthy secondary. Like I said last week, a little beat up, couldn't do all the things that we needed to. Though after watching some of the clips and highlights, I noticed we actually did do some stuff more than
Yeah,
I actually even seen in person. But again, it's just how effective is that if you don't have the same individuals doing said things. So
yeah.
hopefully we are going to be back to full strength, or close to it, and we have a different outcome. Because again, like, who's their number one guy? Their rookie Eric Almena, how you say his name?
Alec Ao Manor or
AO man.
Don.
Okay. So is that their number one? I mean, they got Ridley, of course, but like
Yeah,
I feel like he's getting more hype than Ridley right now. Am I wrong in saying that?
yeah. Well, Ridley right now couldn't catch the Holy Ghost in a black church. So I mean, as far as I'm concerned, like, there's no way that we're gonna
Bruh.
be able to get anywhere near that. Like, Ridley right now is,
Come on, Chris.
and the prop. So the thing is, so right now, and also right now, Ward is tracking the play.
Yeah.
Josh Downs and Warren, it looks like theirs was more like a rest, but they're saying like it was precautionary, but they were participating today in practice.
About
So
Latu.
I think
That's key.
Latu they said was limited, but they saw him like moving around. So ultimately, I think we could be back to 100%, especially if Latu's there, and I think that's going to make a big difference as well.
See, hamstrings are, I mean, he is a rush end, and I mean, I don't want to, bring other people's, downfall into it, but Jalen tried to come off of that damn hamstring and apparently made it much worse because now he's on IR. So if it's the soft tissue stuff is always like tough to deal with. So I'm okay with him sitting again. I mean, I get it. We didn't have a lot of pressure last week. But I feel like, Denver had a solid game plan too. And, we still got the dub. I can see Latu sitting out again, and I'll be okay with that. Like I want him to be as full strength as possible because I really want to see what he can become, once he's like actually comfortable rushing the passer, because he gets active, but he hasn't been closing the deal a lot. So I'd rather him get as healthy as possible before he get out there. But Mooney being back, major difference because Mooney should be on Ridley.
Yeah, absolutely. And I
Yeah.
think you have the means to be able to say that, with the cornerbacks that we have right now, right? I think Ward being back is absolutely going to take difference because I could see him going, one versus one with Calvin Ridley,
Yeah.
damn
All
near
day.
all game.
All
And
game.
so after that, I think the drop off in the wide receiver room for the Titans is a big one because, like I said, you're depending on a rookie. You're depending on Tyler Lockett at this stage in his career, where
Oh, I forgot about Lockett.
he's always been solid. But I like I
Forgot
don't know
about
what
him.
he's done up until now, but I don't think that he's done much necessarily, and that's not taking anything away from legacy. But I mean, it just is what it is. But
Fair.
as far as like the actual team goes, it's really just gonna boil down to like how quickly you can get pressured, knowing the type of O line that they have.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's going to come tremendously off of cornerback blitzes, safety blitzes, the stuff that we seen week one. Like the week one, chaos that we put Tua through, who, has one of the quickest releases in the game. You know what I'm saying? Is what I hope to see when we got a full healthy secondary, because I feel like they are going to generate a lot of pressure just by not getting picked up, getting lost in the shuffle, whatever. And that's what we've seen in week one. So I would definitely like to see that. And honestly, we've been talking about this all week in the spaces. I would actually like to see this be a game, kind of like a warm-up game, give him more snaps, JTT. Let's see what he can
Yeah,
do.
yeah,
Let's see what he can do. Hopefully he fits. And I've been saying this too. Lou is very much, the type of coach that is going to a la carte his defense, which means each week he's going to say, hey, I need this, and this week, versus saying, hey, here's our defense, go play.
yeah,
Um,
exactly.
and so with that, hopefully he has said, look, this is a good game for JTT for whatever reasons. And we can see what he can do. Like, unleash the kid. See what he can do.
Yeah, and I think that approach to me is very much. I think it's a good approach, knowing that you have the pieces that you have. Because even looking at the charts for, I'm going to say the defensive shares for what they had, or I'm going to say the base sets that they had. I think like week one, I believe it was more like a more of the cover three looks.
Mhm.
Whereas I think this last one, I think a lot of the shares for time wise, I think were like more cover two.
Mhm.
And then we saw like there was also some cover one. Like they had like I think of all of everything that I've seen, like the chart changed between week one and week two.
Oh
And
yeah.
I think we're going to see that it's going to fluctuate
All
depending
year.
on who you're playing
Oh
against.
yeah. Oh yeah.
So I have no issue with that, because that means that you're game planning for what's in front of you,
Yep.
as opposed to just saying that we're just going to put this defense out there and this is what we're going to be doing against every single team, even though you're not going to play Lamar Jackson the way that you would play a Pat Mahomes.
And I think that is something that we have to get used to. It kind of goes back to the whole thing, like, people talked about, well, this defense isn't as good as people thought, but you're going to change that week to week. And I think that makes you that makes you an unstable fan, because in all honesty, man, like, the greatest defenses have a poor week. I mean, we could probably go back in history and look at, like, who was the top defenses and what was considered a poor week for them. Because every defense has a game where they're just like, they just ain't clicking that day. You know what I mean? And perhaps maybe we'll have more of those than not, because by no means am I trying to compare us to the 85 Bears or the 2000 Ravens or something crazy like that, where those defenses were absolutely phenomenal. But
Yeah.
I'm saying, like, when you find a way to win, and though this was kind of a scramble way to win, like, the numbers didn't really tell the story. We
Okay.
just what I mean by that, because like we talked about it on Tuesday, he had 206 yards and he had 3 touchdowns. But we've been in games before where the quarterback, CJ Stroud, he would have 420 and
Yeah.
3 touchdowns. And you're like, God, we can't stop a nosebleed. Now, Denver was
Mhm.
moving the ball efficiently here and there. They had their moments, but like, you could see our defense still playing like aggressive and playing up on their people, and not just giving up chunk yards and building confidence and like, that's what we're used to seeing with our Colts defense. And so I didn't want to like take this big freaking stab at our defense and be like, oh, they're going to be so inconsistent. Nah, man, there's some injuries and we still found a way to win. Where
Yeah.
we would normally play a game that's close like that, tons of yards given up, and we find a way to lose. So it's like a double, triple whammy. You're like, damn, we gave up a ton of yards. It was a close game, and we couldn't close the deal. So yeah, it's like nah, we're over that. So we have to learn how to win again. It's still early, still early. You know,
Yeah.
we could very much go on a 2-game losing streak at some point, just like we've been on this 2-game winning streak. I get that, but we got to learn how to win again. And I think we've had that negative trauma for so long. It's just like, what can we nitpick? So with that said, still sticking with keys of victory. What we need to not forget is who's in our backfield. No, I don't want to run the man's legs off. I like 20 totes. I like 18 totes, but you got to
Mhm.
get him going early and often to open
Yeah.
up other things. And then, you bring him back later in the game. And like, you just got to remain consistent because we were giving him the ball early. It was like a little here, a little there, a little here, a little there. And then boom, like Jonathan Taylor does, he going to give you 50 or 60. He went for 69, like that. You know what I mean? But that's because he had been getting the ball here and there, maybe getting 6 to 7. Then he get a 2-yard run, 4-yard run, like just being consistent. And then he popped one. So I feel like go down there and whatever crowd they'll have, it won't be a sellout. We don't have to worry about that.
No.
Whatever crowd
No.
they have, put them to sleep early. Like just put them to
Yeah,
bed
just
early.
yeah, just literally either have them walking out the stadium or just have them talking about what the volunteers did this weekend. So
Big facts. The
I,
only thing that we should be listening to is the wind blow because it shouldn't
yeah,
be not because we can't get our plays, we can't hear what's going on. Like, nah, we should go down there dead that early and then remember who you're playing. Like, I think that's the key that this team has probably always wanted to feel and to say, but maybe we didn't have the confidence to say it. Like, remember who you playing. We're playing the Tennessee Titans 0-2 with a rookie quarterback. No
yeah,
disrespect to them, but right now, you guys are in the trenches, literally trying to figure out who you are. We know who we are, and we're
yep,
gonna show you this week. And go ahead and get back on the bus, get home, and get prepared to fly out to LA next week. Like, not to look ahead, but that's the mentality you get on the plane with. When you head down there Saturday. Like it's a rivalry game, and that matters absolutely. But no, we're playing a brand new quarterback on a shitty team. That's what should
yeah,
be being talked about.
yeah,
Go down there and cut up and get this over with quick. Let's put these boys to bed fast. Like let's get them down 21-0, really get them out their element, and then we can just grind the game out after that. Just grind the game out after that. You know what I mean? Chew clock, shit. Try some stuff that maybe you've been working on in practice or whatever. Like that's the way you got to look at these games. It's almost like these are like what's the best way to say it? These are not the test games. These are the games that tune-up games.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
we need to
These
really
are the
see
games
this
that
live. Yeah, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah, because I think you like the Colts going to Tennessee and handle business the way they're supposed to. Not only are you 3-0, but now you're 3-0 with a division win already established. So that means that it's just like momentum is basically on your side. A lot of what we've dealt with in the last few years, even going back, I'm going to say like last year, for example, starting off with
Out the
Houston
gate.
in week 1 and having
Out the
to
gate.
and losing a game to them and having a division loss. The year before that, playing against Jacksonville and having a division loss in week 1, you start off really, really bad. And the thing is, it's just like it almost doubles the amount of losses that you have when you lose a division game, because now if for some reason there's any type of tiebreaker towards the end of the year that needs to be done, if you've been swept by a team, you're basically screwed. Like you're screwed. So that's why, like, going into a place like Tennessee, it's just like you have the ability to basically not just go ahead and just get that 1-0. Now you're undefeated in division, you're undefeated regularly, but that means that also 0-3 basically just closes their door completely. Like
It's
it
a long
because
climb.
yeah, and the
Long
thing,
climb.
like, and for me, and I'm only going according to what Titans fans say, they're not looking at this year as being a successful year. They're looking at this year, once again, being a rebuilding year, being a year that they have to make sure that they I'm going to say evaluate where they are, see what needs to be done, and then just make sure that Cam Ward's getting his progression, doing what he needs to do. That's fine. I just don't believe that this game right now, once again, it's division rival, so that's why I'm giving it a little bit of stand. Otherwise, I'd be like 77-0. But the thing is, I'm giving them that stain because it's a division game, and that's what we have to make sure that
And
we're
we're not
looking
coming
out
back.
for.
I
What
don't
do
know.
you say?
You left for a while.
Oh yeah. You froze for a second, but
Yeah, you froze it. You like, yeah, okay, but no, yeah, yeah. I mean, everything you're saying is dead on. The one thing I would say, no shot at you, Sammy, but are y'all ever looking at the season as a positive? I mean, y'all are terrible. But anyway, I don't want to get fired here, but for as great as Sammy is, I mean, I know the story. I know how they became Titans fans. But I'm like, Sammy, how? Why, Sammy? Why you choose
yeah,
them? But anyway, look, man, I put it to you like this, bro. Like, in all honesty, the reason we shouldn't lose this game is because more inferior Colts teams have been dominant over the last however many thousand days you said against the same squad, right?
yeah,
So now that you come in with the team, like this is the team. I'm gonna just say it. It's early in the season. This is the team that Chris Ballard has been praying for since he took this job, where pretty much 1 through 53, sure, he doesn't have all pros at every position because that's just impossible. But this is the most solid foundation he's had on both sides of the ball
yeah,
since he got the job. And so now that you have the team, you don't come in here and lose to the Titans and break the "we've been kicking your ass" streak, and we got the best program we'd had in years, and that's when we lose. Absolutely not. Just
yeah,
take from the Andrew Luck, man. Andrew Luck, for all that he was and wasn't, what he was great against Tennessee, undefeated, 11-0 or 12-0 or whatever the hell it was. He never lost to them. So
yeah,
let's just ride into Tennessee with that energy. Let's just Andrew Luck energy this week. Like, yeah, we're gonna go down there, we're gonna kick their ass. Like that type of football needs to come back. Not all this like, oh, I'm nervous, I'm scared. I'm feeling like a little no division game or not. Hell no. When we play the Houston Texans, depending on where they are, it really won't matter because that's a more solid team. They're playing like cheeks right now. They can't get a dub, but that's a program to be absolutely like get ready for. Even when you go to Jacksonville, though we're the better team, that's still we haven't won there. So I understand when we get down to that part of the season, can we break that curse? I mean, shit, it's been what 9 years? Has it been a decade yet since we won in Jacksonville? It's been a
it's been over
decade.
a decade. It's been over a decade because I think the last time that we won, I think the last time that we won was the last time that we won
Oh,
a
that was
home
week
game.
one.
Also, yeah, I think it was. I think it was the last time we won a home game. Also, so I
No, no,
think
no,
it's
no, no.
just
I'm
like,
saying like, was it the same time frame of the week one curse?
yeah, that's
So
correct. Yes,
okay, so we went to Jacksonville in week one in 2014 or whatever, and that was the last time we won.
correct.
Wow. So
Yeah,
yeah, those two things are married. Somebody could check the stats on that if we're not 100% correct. But if they are married, it's time to divorce that too, because we divorced the week one curse. We got that up out of there. Finally
yeah.
kicked her out.
Thank goodness.
Kept
Thank
the
goodness.
kids. We kept the kids and told them to get out. But it's
Exactly.
time to get the Jacksonville situation squared away too, because I just don't understand. It don't even matter. They could be 0 and whatever, and we go down there and we lose. We got the whole division on the freaking, our playoff hopes are on the line, lose. It doesn't matter. We go down there and lose, and it's crazy. So yeah, it's time to like kick that shit to the curb too, because it doesn't
Yeah,
even make sense. It
yeah,
doesn't
and I
even make
think
sense.
yeah, and I think one thing that we just kind of touching on, like the teams that we've played with, we've managed to beat them consistently over the last few years. And that's kind of with this team being in more so of a disarray, right? Because mind you, we played them that year that AR got hurt, he tore his AC joint, whatever. And then the next game, it was the Gardner Minshew game where, he's basically having to operate, do what he needs to do, and that's fine. And so last year, beating them with I think with Joe Flacco the first time, and then we beat him with Anthony Richardson the second time. But I think now this will be the first time that you have somebody who I think is going to be operating the offense, I'm going to say with a little bit more I'm gonna say with operating the offense with I'm gonna say with a little bit more controlled, but then also being able to have everything out, like basically having all things available, right?
Right.
Because every single time, like when Anthony Richardson was out there, the first time it was a running game. When like the running game was what killed him.
Mhm.
And then Gardner Minshew was out there. We basically had to pass, but the running game wasn't there. Now, if you look at last year, more passing, a little bit of running, and then of course the running was what won the last game. But I think this is the first time, once again, that I think we're going to be able to attack this team with both the run and the pass and do it efficiently.
Facts. And I
Because
and I
they,
feel like this defense. So listen, man, because that part is 100% correct, but the more so the part that has given these quarterbacks confidence in our division. And I hate to just keep throwing damn dirt on his name, but Gus Bradley made it so easy for Trevor Lawrence, who might have came into the game in a slump, to get out of his slump.
Mhm.
CJ at that point, let's go back to his rookie season. At that point, remember in garbage time, he had all them extra yards in garbage time. He ended up with over 400.
Yeah,
And people said even though they lost that game, like that was a game that like he really like he got a lot of confidence out of that game. And then it made him better throughout that year. And I'm like, that's the type of dumb shit that I'd be really getting frustrated about, because whether you win the game or not, you have to play football in a certain way where the mentality is I'm not giving you shit. You gonna earn everything. Gus Bradley
yeah.
gave people whatever they wanted, bro. It's like somebody break into your house, like, hey man, hands up, take whatever you want. Just go
Mhm.
get what you need. And we can't have that no more. So I feel like for the first time, this is something that I don't know if a lot of people really gonna like key in on. But for the first time in this division, these quarterbacks are not getting layups, bro. They're not coming in knowing like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, they're in a soft cover 3, so all of my little short shit is open all game. Like, yeah, I could drop a 6-yard dump here, and then my guy makes one move, that 6 yards turned into a yak. So now that's a 25-yard play. Like, so many of them type of moments in games over the last 3 years have happened in these division games. People couldn't tackle. For all the things that we're talking about, when it comes to Zaire, give him his credit on what he's doing better. And what's that?
Well,
Tackling.
but I
He's
can't.
tackling.
He is like the thing, and he's efficient at tackling. He's efficient at tackling.
But
But
he's not missing tackles and still having a lot of tackles. He's actually tackling and making tackles count the first time, is what I'm saying.
yeah, and I think I think Zaire's been doing well enough. I just don't think that I don't believe that the way that this defense is being run right now, or the way that defense is going, that he's fitting in the way that he would need to for him to be the all pro that he is.
Look, I have different sentiments on that. But they are what they are. Okay. And so, because my sentiments really have nothing to do with him holistically. But it's funny to be like, of all the linebackers that we had over the last 6 years, because they all kind of came in together, 6 to 7 years. Well, Anthony Walker was first, so he got there before everybody. But
Mhm.
Walker, Okereke, Darius, Z, all those dudes are within like a year of each other. And it's just funny he's the last man standing because he was talent wise the bottom of that. Like, and
It's
and maybe it's just again, maybe it's just circumstance. It's just
but
certainly it's got to be at certain points, i.e., Darius being potentially career ended. But
so then let me ask you this then. With him being the last guy out, especially now, like seeing exactly who we had and seeing the talent, because we know that when Walker left, okay, like you still had some play because of Okereke, cool, and then you saw all these things. It did Zaire survive because he was the one who was able to translate the most when it came down to Gus Bradley's defense at that particular time.
mm, I mean, you kind of almost got to say sure, because I mean, yeah, like this, like again, and it's no knock on Z. Z is my dog, but it's like he didn't have the physical attributes. He didn't, because I mean, at that point, you know, Chris Ballard was drafting rangy, long guys. Okereke, remember he had freakishly long arms. Shaq,
Yeah.
freakishly long arm. He would always talk about those type of things. Unlike Z, don't have that. You know what I mean? Like Z was I mean, yeah, he played, linebacker at Syracuse, but like he made his name by just being a hard nosed special teamer for years.
Yeah.
And then maybe getting a little spot duty here and there when somebody got a little nick, get banged up. But that 1 year that we had Okereke, Walker, and Darius, oh my God.
Yeah, no, that was amazing
We
because
didn't
you
even
knew
realize
what you
we
had.
had.
Yeah.
Because at that point, like that was kind of like the emergence. And I think that's why we were able to like let Walker walk first. That was no pun intended on Walker walk. That's crazy. But anyway, was because that was kind of the emergence of, Eberflus saying, "Ooh, I can get more exotic and do more 4-2-5 things and bring Kenny in and let Kenny be that nickel linebacker thing." Right. And I think it was an easy transition for Walker to leave. But just when they were out there together, we had a true Will, Mike, and what's the other one? I can't think. We don't even play 3 linebackers. Sam. Damn. I'm like, what's wrong with me? We had that true thing because I used to argue all the time. Like people would think that Shaq was a middle linebacker. It's like he's not. Shaq's not a middle linebacker. He was the Sam, I believe. And I
He was the
believe,
Sam. Yep.
and
He was the
Okereke
Sam.
was the Will, and then Anthony was the Mike. So I'm like, but we didn't see that enough to appreciate it in 2018 or whatever that was, right?
Yeah, it was around two. It was we had I believe we had all 3 of them. I want to say 2019 because I
19.
remember Jacoby Brissett and Anthony Walker did the Craig and Day from Friday After Next costume that year. So I remember.
Yeah, because Okereke got drafted in 19. He's a year after. He's a year after Darius. So yeah, that like we didn't even really appreciate what was out there, and it's just like, man, like that could have been insane, bro. Like if them boys just grow together over the 3, 4, 5 seasons, my God, dog. But I mean, you don't see a lot of traditional 3 linebacker sets true anymore, like where they're starting 3 backers anymore, right? So I guess you got to adapt with the league, but at the same token, man, damn, that to now to go from, and this is no knock, but to go from Walker, Shaq, Okereke, and literally all 3 of them are gone, and the last 2 seasons coming into this one was EJ and Z, huh?
Yeah, and but I think the craziest part.
Look at
Yeah, who it's just like
Huyan.
I'll
You
tell
know
you
what
right
you're
now.
getting, Huyan? Hold up. No, you don't bench him.
Huyan. Tyler Warren makes enough money to go out and buy a prosthetic toe to play on Sunday. So I will not sacrifice my toe to a millionaire, knowing for a fact that he can go out and do whatever he needs to go get one. Yo, that's nasty work.
You're spamming the podcast right now. Nah, yeah, you're right. That's what I'm saying. That Sam Backer is the new safety nickel hybrid. Exactly. That's what Kenny became that.
Yeah, and let's also point out the fact that we've seen it. Like, look at how the Rams use Jared Verse, for example, right? He's an edge rusher. But last year, not only did they move him around on the line, they moved him around as a linebacker. They had most games he was listed as a linebacker and a D end. So for those teams, especially teams that may be running a little bit more of an exotic defense now, you're drafting a really athletic D end because at some point or another you're going to play him at linebacker. And I think that's what's kind of taking away some of the traditional linebacker, unless you're just a linebacker that can zone cover out of their mind.
Facts.
Like I think the one of the prime examples of that was like Jahad Campbell out of this past draft, right? Because for him, Jahad Campbell, he 100% is a thumper, but he's a thumper who can play the run, and he's also a thumper who can play coverage. Whereas you had Jalen Walker balling out in Atlanta, and he's a DN that's also playing linebacker in totality as well. So we see that now exactly how they're doing it. So, But it still is unfortunate that we didn't hold on to, Walker, Leonard, and Okereke, because if we're being honest, you have them in this type of defense, they're going to eat.
They're gonna
Like
be
I think
insane, bro.
Bobby
Oh
leads
my
the league
God.
right now in tackles, ironically.
Mhm.
So I mean, like that would
And
have been a tandem that would have
what is Bobby like? Late 20s now?
28, 29.
Oh, is he that age? Okay, because I couldn't
Yeah.
remember if he was one of the younger guys that came in when he's like 22 or something like that. But because he did he do a full? He wasn't a senior leaving Stanford, was he? Moral of the story is not that we need to be making trades to see if he want to come back, but if he's a free agent next year, bring your ass back over. Like, come on back to the crib, bro. Like, cause what? Like, I mean, I just don't know how, I don't remember what the contract was. I don't know what he wanted. I can't remember, but I just don't know
It
how
was
he
it was
doesn't get
10 million. It was 10 million that he
I
was
just don't know
looking
how he don't
for.
get it. How
But
does he not get it?
the crazy thing is that's what we paid Zaire.
Anyway, man, let's again, because it's no knock on Zaire. Zaire's my dog. But yeah, like it's just crazy to see how that position group which was one of the strongest that we had. Like just Bills. I got a pick'em league. Bills easy. And yeah, Tua's like 1-8 all time against Buffalo, and he's never won in Buffalo. Though there's no weather tonight. I don't think it's nothing crazy. But yeah, Bills easy. Like they're just bad. Miami's just bad. I don't know.
Yeah, they're
What
just
more to
bad
say
this
about
year.
that. All right, well, Chris, we got 10 to the hour, so we might as well get into your greatness when it comes to picking or whatever whatever y'all say. I feel like
Yeah,
all
you're
of y'all
welcome.
picks. I feel like all y'all picks be like like gimmick picks, but whatever.
No, but how was that a gimme pick? I just said Tyler Warren
What'd
over
you say
50.
last
I
week?
don't know.
Oh, okay, no, but no. Okay, my bad. Pat was the one that said anytime touchdown, right?
Yeah.
Man, that shit is
Yeah.
Omaha DEI. Okay, anyway, go ahead. Do your thing.
So so you know what? I think this week, only because of the fact that we beat up on Legarius Need last year. Like I think they said he's tracking not to play. I'm not gonna go with the gimme because we've seen how they spread the offense around. I'm gonna go receiving touchdown for Jonathan Taylor.
Oh, see, we don't do the whole like thing no more. That don't come up no more.
It's time for Sick Picks. Brought to you by DraftKings. The crown is yours.
What? Like that was the way?
Wait. You see who actually do this podcast thing? Who just be
No,
showing up?
because
Yeah,
you
look at
can't just sit
Omaha.
there.
No.
Yo, you're not gonna sit here and
Thank
say
you, Sammy.
because you're
He's
talking
new.
about six picks. You're not gonna sit there and talk about
I was
six
like,
picks,
the
and you're
thing.
over here saying we don't do the thing, we don't do the blah 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 blah. Blah. Like what is this?
That's because
Big
that's the
Hero
thing.
6?
It's like, like what? Anyway.
What is
So
that? What is that? What are you, a Jabberwocky?
I'm gonna make the real
what
sick.
the heck
pick.
was that?
I'm gonna make the real sick pick because it cued when I said it, and you would think that this guy knew that, but he didn't. But I'm gonna make the real sick pick because your pick is kind of like, yeah. Here's a real sick pick. I'm going JT 125 and 2 tutties.
125 total?
No, on the ground.
Oh.
So yeah, one of them tutties might be through the air. Because we're gonna stop. This is what we're gonna stop doing. Shane Steichen and crew, JBC, all of y'all. Y'all gonna stop giving Daniel Jones 3 attempts from the freaking half-yard line. Hand that shit back to my RB1 because yes, I want him to do great for the squad, but I got him in 2 fantasy leagues. Give him the damn football. I've said what I said.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
I've said what I've said, and then let me rest my case. Because Daniel Jones with 3 rushing touchdowns already is sinister.
Yeah, and I think he's leading the league in rushing touchdowns for quarterbacks. So
I'm not here for none of that. I mean, I am because we're winning, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I was about to say it's just like you are here. You're
because
here.
That's a lot of bullshit. That's a lot of bullshit. That's what that is. Okay, man. I guess we got to run down the whole.
Yeah, but before we do that, because like I said, I'd be remiss if I didn't shout out everybody who's been commenting and everything else. So make sure that we shout out Marty, Rebecca, Kevin, Eddie, Ricky, Teresa, of course, Carvey, OG on here, and then we have Raheem, Tyler, Zach.
Keep going.
Geez, it's
Huyan. Give
Isaiah
Huyan
tagging.
his love.
No. I'm getting there. Listen, we had a
I
lot
got
of
you,
comments.
Huyan.
This is what happens when I only do this at the end. Like it's crazy.
Okay.
But Isaiah, reaching out for Terry, Josh, Zach Roundtree, Mike Nichols, everybody.
Run it up.
Like those boys, like Huyan, like
Run it up.
it's who else? Nate, like literally everybody that's tuning in. We appreciate y'all. Once again, just like I said, I'm never not going to shout out the comment section because the comment section lets me know that we're doing the right thing.
Absolutely.
So definitely do appreciate y'all. And so, Teresa asked Pierce for 100 yards.
Okay, that's all right.
That's ambitious.
That's very ambitious. But you got it, Teresa.
Hey, but you know what? So with that being said, first and foremost,
hold on. Before you do this, hold on. I forgot. See, we gotta go to our chats and do what we're told to do before you do that. So apparently, YouTube has this new thing where you hype the video. Are you guys seeing that if you're watching on YouTube? I know nothing about that, but we need to start hyping the video. So can y'all hype the video, share and tell everybody about it and hype the video? It's like a button, I think. And viewers can click that button. So please start hyping all the videos. YouTube is testing out this new thing, and we want to keep growing our YouTube numbers. Before Chris gets into that, I want to say appreciate all the 35-ish new YouTube subs we got. And oh my goodness, over the last 2 weeks, we have gotten 400-ish new followers on Facebook. Hey, look, man, keep running the numbers up. Appreciate what you guys are doing. We're trying to do it on both sides, of things, the tailgate and, of course, the podcast. So I appreciate you. Okay, now, Chris, do your thing. Sorry.
There we go. Okay, yeah, absolutely.
Cialis Man and 5, go.
Yes. And so like I said, so brought to you by Clyde's Vacation Handler Sandals. Yes, Sammy, can you please bring up the handles for social media? So yes, you can find me on Twitter at CJ Colts Fan.
I'll be on X at Colts Clyde.
Yes, and then bring up for the podcast page also. Yes, you can find us at Sick Pod Colts. So like I said, we post clips from previous shows. We'll also be able to reach out to us. Like I said, you might see us in spaces. If you do, come in, say what's up, all that good stuff. And then with that being said, if you want to hear this rebroadcasted, you can actually hear us on Z103.com on Wednesdays at 12 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Central. They're actually about to start doing broadcasts after this one as well. But if you want to hear this one, you can actually hear this rebroadcast Sundays at 6 a.m. on Mix 105. You can actually search Mix 105 in Indy, and then that way you can make sure we are able to, like I said, you're able to hear us game day. So this way you can hear our thoughts and make your bets accordingly. And then on top of that, please bring up Visit Indy for me. Make sure that you are scanning that QR code using Visit Indy. That's the QR code that you can get if you're in the Indianapolis area for a game. And let's just say you want to make a weekend out of it. You get attractions, live events like concerts, festivals, whatever it may be, whatever restaurants are in the area. Use Visit Indy for anything that you have going on, and they'll be able to make sure that you are in the know with everything that you need to know. So also with that being said, this weekend, like I said, just make sure that we are, or I'm going to say, make sure that you are loud. Make sure that you let Titans fans know whatever they believe positive is going to happen. It probably won't. So like I said, just
we can't get out of here. I totally slipped my mind. You could take that down. Okay, we didn't even do our score predictions.
Okay, score predictions.
Yes, we got a minute.
A lot to a little Colts. So you know what? I'm gonna say 27-13 Colts.
Okay, so we are averaging about 30 right now. 33 week 1, 29 week 2. I'm sticking with 30. 30 is the magic number, so it's going to be 30-10 Colts.
Gotcha. Hey, by the way, shout out to some people who came in a little bit later. Beverly, Camacho Joe. Got to see him week 1. I got to see a bunch of people week 1. So yeah. So shout out to everybody. But yeah,
He right down the road from me. We're gonna have to link one day, man. Probably the last game of the season. We coming to Houston to play the Texans. I know you down in Houston, Camacho. I'll hit you up. We'll link up, see what we can get together for the tailgate or something.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the 1 week that Clyde won't have a vacation scheduled, so
it'll
be all right that
before we
time.
start the crime in here, let's go ahead and wrap this thing up.
That's racist.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Sick Podcast and Bill Show on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.